Hi, Julie here with Just Plain Fun, and today I'm going to show you about these brand new paper bead rulers by Just Plain Fun. I make them myself. Yeah, they're 3D printed, and there are 19 of them in the set, ranging from 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch all the way up to 1 inch to 1 inch, and they're in 1/8 inch increments. And 3 of them have straight edges. This one, and this one, and this one. And what the straight edges are all about is you can link them together with connectors, which is what will also be in your kit if you decide to order. You're going to get a roll of washi tape and some rings, and I will explain those. Oh yeah, one more thing you're going to get. You're going to get an instruction booklet and this handmade case. The handmade case is completely handmade by me, and it is cotton, and this fabric on the outside is not really 100% cotton, but future ones will be. And these are the perfect size for holding your rulers as well as paper bead rollers if you have them. And the instruction booklet is just that. It's 11 pages long, and it explains to you what I'm going to demonstrate here to you in a few minutes. And your package will also include oddballs of paper, maybe not necessarily these sizes, but they will be, you'll get oddball pages or oddball pieces of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and start demonstrating. First off, I'm going to show you how the connectors work. Set this stuff aside for now and put the instructions aside, and I'm going to show you the connectors. Let's put this out of the way. All right, the connectors, you get 3 of those with the straight edges, and you put them together like this so that they form a straight edge, and you're going to pull out the connectors. I'm including 4 of them, even though you only need 2, and that way in case you break one or they get lost or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. And if you notice, the straight edges have square holes, whereas all the others have round ones. Those are for the rings. I'll explain that in a few minutes. All right. Then you go ahead and put these together like this, and they could be a little difficult to put in, but they're not bad. And this will form up to an 18-inch straight edge, which will make it handy if you're using large pieces of paper. And the rulers are 6 inches each. When you put 2 together, of course, you get 12 inches. All right, and I'll show you how those are used in a moment. You can probably figure it out on your own. And then the washi tape, the purpose of that is to hold your paper down while you draw your lines from top to bottom. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape this down so I can start demonstrating the rulers. That's why you're watching this video. So you don't technically need to use the washi tape if you don't want to, but I'm going to. And I put them on the edges just to keep it in place. I don't do it all the time, just to be honest with you, but I'm including the washi tape for free. God only knows which print you're going to get. They're all different. All right, and I'm going to set this rings aside. I'll explain those in a minute. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab a ruler. In the instructions, I used this one here. I think I used that one in the instructions. Let me take a peek. Yes, it's the half inch to, actually, there were 2 of them that I used, apparently. Half inch to half inch and half inch to 1/4 inch. But anyway, I'm going to show you with the half inch to 3/8 and the half inch to half inch. With the bicone, with the half inch to half inch and all of them that you can get 2 beads from, you can also get bicones and also cone beads. And I explained that in the instructions more thoroughly, but basically that's what you can get the bicones and you can get the cones in here. And in a nutshell, what you're going to do, I'm going to grab a pencil. I recommend a pencil, but you know what? I think I'm going to use a pen today so that you can see my dots. And let me grab a pen. don't really, oh yeah, by the way, this is how your package will come. It will come in one of these. So just thought you might want to know. Yes, I actually tucked the rulers inside. All right. So to do a 1/2 inch tube bead, the first things that you're going to do is, not every single ruler is the same rule with regards to where the first dot comes. Some of them, they're correct, but they're different, okay? But with all the ones that are equal to equal, like 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch, 3/8 to 3/8, and so forth, you always start with the very first notch on the edge of your paper. And you know what? I think I'm going to switch to a colored piece of paper so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to use this one. Just so I'm only this is only for demonstration purposes. Normally you would mark on the white side of your paper, but I'm demonstrating today. So let's start this over. I'm going to secure the paper down on my work surface. This just keeps it from shifting. All right, so because I want you to see what I'm doing, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Come on, zoom. Okay, I think that might be close enough. I'm going to put this ruler up in the upper left corner, just like that, as close to the edge as I possibly can get. And I'm going to mark my dots. And basically what you would do is work all the way down the edge of the paper. And when you run out of ruler, before you run out of paper, what you're going to do is you pay attention to which measurement that you last did. Like here is the actual 1/2 inch. So I'm going to move my ruler so that the 3/8 inch, or the 3/8 inch is what I start with on the next one, right there. So that way you have the 1/2 inch here and you have the 3/8. I was going to do the 2 beads first, but this works too. And you're just going to continue down until you've filled out the paper. So 1/2 inch to 3/8 is what I'm working on right now. So in order to do the, the bicone style, or actually technically, this is a barrel bead that I'm drawing. You're going to turn your ruler around and line it up with the bottom page so that the edge of your paper is on the edge of the ruler. And this will make sure that the narrow edge, or the narrow end, is center to the top, or the wide end. And you're going to put one dot here and only one dot there. Don't put any more dots yet. The next thing you do is you're going to move this ruler down to where the first 3/8 is. So you're going to move this down. And then you're going to go ahead and finish putting in your dots down the paper. And you notice the tape holding it there is keeping it stable. All right, and since I have run out of run out of ruler, I notice here that I'm at the 1/2 inch, so I'm going to move it down. So there's my 1/2 inch. I'm going to move it back so that, I'm at the 1/2 inch. So that's where I want it to be. Duh. That's where I want it to be. I want it to be at the 1/2 inch. And I'm going to finish my dots. And that's basically how you use these rulers in a nutshell with regards to barrel beads, bicone beads, that sort of stuff. And I'm going to use one of the straight edges. Take this apart because I don't need it. And these are kind of hard to remove. So if you take one of your bead rollers or blunt end instrument and push, you will get these off. There we go. Or just something with a blunt end. Put that aside. I'm going to use the straight edge. Now you could turn your paper over and down if you want to. But if you're left-handed, you're not going to have a problem with this. You just line up your dots to the edge of your paper. And notice I'm using 3/8, ½ inch to 3/8. So you're only going to get like a 1/16 of an inch on the edge here where you can draw your line all the way up. And then you turn it around, your ruler around, and you're going to make sure you're on the second dots and draw. And you continue down the paper, and these are centered. The narrow end is centered to the wide end. And you continue all the way down your paper until it's filled out. And I will do that to this one later on. I just want, but make sure you draw on the back side, not the front. I'm only doing this for demonstration purposes. Okay, so I'm going to put, I'm not even going to show you on this one. I'll do it on the back like I was earlier. All right, so now we're going to do the tube beads. Now that I've shown you how to use the ruler in a nutshell, we are going to actually do the ½ inch to ½ inch. Now when you look at the ruler, you have the ½ inch to ½ inch that is right side up. You have the ½ inch to 3/8, which is upside down. The side that's right side up, the bottom edge of the ruler is the measurement for that size. I turn it around. This bottom edge, these measurements are ½ inch to 3/8. That's how the rulers are set up. Every single one of them. No confusion. Hopefully. Anyway, so we're going to work on the ½ inch to ½ inch since I have it. And I'm going to put the ½ inch to ½ inch up here. And this time, now that you could actually, I used the pen. You've seen basically how to use it. I'm going to line this first notch with the top edge of my paper. Top left corner. And I'm going to draw the dots down this side. Whoops, I missed one. At this angle, it's not that easy to see. I usually do this right up close to me. And then I'm going to turn the ruler around, and I'm going to line up the edge of my ruler to the edge of the paper. Actually, I'm doing the tube bead. Never mind. I pull it back down to where it was at the top. First notch on the edge of the paper and go down. Only on the ones that are tube beads. When you're doing tube beads, this is what you want to do. And from the tube bead, to do the tube bead, you just draw your lines straight. I'm not going to bother drawing the lines because you get the idea. You just draw your lines and you go down and you draw your lines. But now I'm going to show you how to do the cone bead. What you want to do with the cone bead is go ahead and draw the first line of your tube bead. So it's parallel. You could do this all the way down if you wanted to. I'll just do 2 of them. But then to turn this into a cone bead, you're going to go draw a line from this dot to this dot or this dot to this dot, and you'll have cone beads. So that's an easy one to do. All right. And then this. Now, one great thing about this ½ inch ruler is if you didn't want to dig out your 1 inch to 1 inch ruler, you can go ahead and make 1 inch bicone beads without even going to your 1 inch to 1 inch ruler if you didn't want to. This is how you would do it. You go to this dot here, or one of your dots, and you go at an angle, like as if you were to do a cone bead. Draw that one down, skip this next one, and go on to the next one, because it's already perfectly centered for you. And that's it. You've got a bicone bead that's 1 inch down to nothing. So the ½ inch to ½ inch is really versatile. They're all versatile like that, but you can do that. But if you don't want to be bothered with the dots, this actually, it totally works. So if you want to do ½ inch to nothing, I'm going to continue over here, and I'm going to flip my paper over. And I'm going to erase the dots that are there on the unused portion of this paper, because I'm basically starting over, because I'm going to show you how to do the bicone where you're 1/2 inch at the wide end and nothing at the narrow end. Get rid of the dots. It's basically starting all over. You take your 1/2 inch ruler, turn it around, you put this up at the top edge. Now the same idea works with all the rulers, the same methods. Now if I remember correctly, I do have one of these rulers where the narrow end is first. I'm not going to change it. You might come across that on more than one ruler. So the rule of thumb to remember is when you're doing, let's say 7/8 to 7/8 down to nothing, or 7/8 to 1/8 inch. This is technically not 7/8, so ignore that. You're going to use the first dot of the large measurement. Always use the first dot of the large measurement, no matter where it is, and line that up with your paper. Okay, back to the 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. Okay, I've got my dots here, and we're going to do the bicone beads, which are 1/2 inch to nothing. So I'm going to turn the ruler around, line up my paper to the edge of the ruler, and I'm going to put my first dot. And then I'm going to go all the way down, because the 1/2 inch to nothing, you know, the spaces between them, they're always spaced. Well, actually, they're equidistant. But anyway, we're going to join this dot to this dot, and it will be centered to the 1/2 inch. Now, if you want your ruler completely on your paper, just turn your paper around. But here I'm okay with this. And then I'm going to draw a line to the second dot to the first dot when you're doing bicone that are to nothing. So second dot to first dot. And then on the second bicone, you do second dot to third dot, and so forth. And I'm sure you guys understand how to make paper beads unless you've never made them before. So this is basically it in a nutshell with regards to the bicone beads. So you can make 3 types of beads with the 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch, 3/8 to 3/8, and so forth. You can do bicone beads, you can do tube beads, and you can do cone beads. And that's basically it in a nutshell. So with the larger ones, like the 7/8 to, well, let's try 7/8 to 1/4. I'm going to grab another piece of paper, tape this one down, and the rulers are accurate. You can even, you know, check against a ruler or something, like, you know, this is kind of a ruler thing. They are accurate. I actually had to make these rulers twice because I did mess up the first batch. Okay, so we're going to do 7/8 to 1/4 inch. We're going to do 7/8 to 1/4 inch. So I turn the ruler around, I line up the first notch of the large width, not the narrow edge, not the narrow edge, because these are designed so that this is the 7/8 to 1/4. This is where the measurement that it needs to be to end up having the narrow edge be centered to the wide end. Okay, so I'm going to put the dots here all the way down, and then I'm going to turn the ruler around so that the 7/8 to the 1/4 is facing me, and I line it up on the edge of my paper, mark the first dot, move the ruler down to the first dot of the narrow edge, or the narrow end, down to the first notch, and then we're going to continue on marking all the way down. So when you use your straight edge to draw your lines, you're going to draw your line first to first line on the first one. Well, first dot to first dot. And then you draw your second line, second dot to second dot, and so forth. And these should be or R, the narrow end is center to the wide end. And if it's not, I screwed up again. Excuse the language. I messed things up again. Yeah. All right. But just to prove to you, I'm hoping this is clear enough. I'm hoping I'm close enough so that you can actually see what I'm doing. All right. So if you look at it, it looks center. It actually does look center to me. So I'm going to see this measuring thing. I'm going to line it up. This is 7/8 to 7/8 to a 1/4 inch. I think that's what I just did. Anyway, so see the 1/4 inch? It's right there. It's accurate right there. 1/4 inch is accurate. 7/8. I've got that thick solid line all the way to 7/8. So that is accurate. It's working. 7/8 to 1/4 inch. It is lining up. So that's basically how you use these rulers in a nutshell. Like I said before, this is the way your package will come. It'll have the pouch. The rulers will be inside the pouch along with the rings. And the rings are for these holes if you want to put them together according to size grouping for storage because you don't want to use the pouch for it. You can use that. There's no rhyme or reason with the colors of the rings. They're all different, but you are getting 5. And everyone who orders this kit will get 1 silver ring, and the other 4 colors are random because I had a lot of the silver colored ones. But these are book rings, and I'm sure you've used, well, maybe I didn't really know. I'm going to sound stupid here. I didn't know that, I heard of book rings before, but I never used one before. And they're not that easy to open up. But that's basically, you put the rulers on them, and there you go. You can store them according to size, color in your drawer or whatever. I'm just including them in case you didn't want to use the pouch to store them in. But with me, I'm storing mine in my pouch. And yes, I am actually going to use them. And again, you get 4 of the connectors in case you lose one or break one. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I want criticism. I want comments. I want suggestions. If you feel I've left anything out or you need a little bit more explanation, please let me know. I am always here. This is what I actually do for a living, and I want to thank you for watching, and you can get these on Amazon and Etsy right now. So thank you for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.